comes from. And this prime creator, when we look in the sky, we realize that it's something out there that they call darkness. That's not really darkness. As they called it in the ancient Egyptian, that's the black or the noon, N-U-N. And this is why your Catholic priestesses wear the black robe of the noon. And not to be confused with the Jupiter robe of the Judeo-Christian court system. It's a whole different purpose. That's why the men wearing them in the were originally wearing them in judiciary, but eventually the women got in there. They showing you something with this. They showing you that these people are altering the psychology of gender. And this is why you have women wearing a Saturnian robe. If you have a woman sitting on the judgment seat, she's supposed to be wearing a white robe. Y'all need to know that now. If you have a woman sitting on the judgment seat and she doesn't have the white robe on, she is not in alignment with the order of Isis, which is the lawgiver for this three-dimension fixed position reality. And if you look at the priesthood over in the Catholic Church, you'll notice that all of the priests wear black, but the Pope wear white. He's an imposter parading as Isis, as the queen of heaven and earth, and he ain't got no right to be there. And he got to get his ass out of there. And he know I'm coming because I done already told him. So what is he doing? He trying to piss me off because he think that if I can piss him off, he'll just start tearing shit up like he always do, and then I can get away with another reign. It's not going to happen. Mama said, hold your peace, baby, and let the Lord fight your battle. So I sit back, and I don't really focus too much on the three-dimensional drama because this fourth dimensional was more important because that was the spirit realm that governed the third dimension. So we took that over, and it resonated now, and they still spray painting your daylight sky gray so you can't see that parking lot on the side of Earth that the sun on. It's backed up out there, and they won't show y'all. And they got a magnetic grid created by what they call the Dark Night satellite. It's been up for thousands of years. It's been up there, and they can project holographic imagery into the upper atmosphere you call ozone. And between the chemtrails that spray painting or clouding the skies and this satellite altering the energy grid, you can't see that parking lot. And if you was able to see it without the chemtrails, if the chemtrails wasn't there, they could use that dark night satellite to give you an artificial perception of reality of what's taking place out there, even with your telescopes. Your telescopes wouldn't even be able to see beyond that projection in that upper atmosphere because of the structure of it. It's almost exactly like your TV screen. You can project stuff off the atmosphere if you know how to do it and you hit it at the right angle. This is how you get to see the great rainbow in the sky. And that's why in the early Genesis it tell you that they left a rainbow as a sign, but nobody tell you what the sign is. The rainbow is the symbol to let you know about refraction of light. And that's when you split light up into various different rays and beams. And then once you do that, what you use to do that is called a prism, P-R-I-Z-M. Now, it's no coincidence that prism sound like prison because they needed a prism in order to project the light being into the three-dimensional fixed reality body, which is actually another agent of science, right? The human body is what you call an organic nano phalanx self-replicating technology. It reproduces based off science, and this is what they did. So the earth has been stripped bare multiple times of all vegetation and all life, all physical life in the third dimension. It's been stripped butt naked. Only thing they isn't even stripped of its atmosphere before, where the atmosphere was so thin that today we wouldn't be able to breathe in it. So what goes on next was they trapped these beings by exploding this collider and shooting this beings into this third dimension, and now they stuck. But we had a contingency. What did we do? We created we grew something called an ayahuasca tree in South Africa. And they made mockery of it, and they had to give you the opportunity to discover the truth. You got to remember that. They made mockery of this event in a movie that you call Avatar, which was a beautiful cinematic um, and theatrical production. Cost a lot of money and a lot of time, and they did it over a long, prolonged period of time. Um, yep. And so when the rainbow itself is not bad, because those are the light rays that we get from the Pleiadian seven sisters. They came to help Mama, because besides me, everybody else got scared of them motherfuckers and they wouldn't want to fight. Well, I'm not scared of them. They're not gonna make me back down, and I'm gonna fight them everywhere I see them. I ain't got no problem with it. Them goddamn wicked bastards. So anyway, um, they end up um trapping us in this physical body. So we grow this tree, right? Mama decided she made a pact with Mother Earth to do whatever she could to keep the cycle of life eternal. So the beings couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. They was stuck. They couldn't figure out what was going on. How they keep coming back fighting us? Because we was using the tree. We would go download into, just like they said, watch Avatar the movie and you understand what I'm talking about a little clearer. And so what ended up happening was they discovered the tree. Now, African Zulu priest Credo Mutwa, he goes into it a little bit and he tells you exactly the spot the tree used to be in. But there's a cult photo or a drawing or painting of a tree that had a serpent at the bottom, a big snake, and with his mouth open under the root of the tree. Right? This is a symbolic of them consuming those who had the right to eternal life into the serpent flame. So now we have to do some extra stuff, because when they cut the tree down, they gave us what they call a silver cord loop. The silver cord loop kept us trapped in what they call a reincarnation cycle. And they do something to erase your memory between incarnations, and this is why you needed Akasha, because she had to be able to give you back your memory at the close of the age. Well, we at the close of the age, y'all gonna have headaches, and y'all gonna have to stay extremely hydrated, because the brain is mostly water, and you have to stay hydrated because you're about to start downloading massive amounts of information, and you're about to start waking up, and it's going to disturb your physiology, because it hasn't experienced this, nor has humans experienced it in so long that the DNA was starting to lose the trace in it that it happens. And so they cut this tree down, hook us to the silver loop, and they down. You need two things in order to ascend. You need a silver cord and a gold cord. So instead of the silver cord going up into the brain like it used to, they pulled it from the brain through your root chakra, tied it into their system of science to loop you. But between it, they torture your memory away. They have to torture your memory away. And this is the reason why they give boys circumcision and they do vaginal mutilation on girls, is to try to make them forget. The pain is what causes the memory to forget. Now, when this beings finally collapsed these two, um, it caused a big, big, big explosion. Now, your science say that we all came from the Big Bang. Well, they don't really know what the Big Bang is. So we let them say what they want to say and think what they want to think, as long as they under that system. And anyway, these beings are conniving and cunning. They smart, but they not wise. That's why when they created the being in Babylon, they blocked him from assimilating higher intelligence, and he wasn't even tied into totally into the reincarnation loop. He was disposable. And this upset mama because she was worried about the women not having they could feel the love and they understood love, but they had no intellect to understand how to express it. And then the sulfur kind of gave them a sociopathic disposition. The sociopathic disposition where a female would just drop a baby and keep going as if nothing happened, and this upset mama. It upset her deeply when she seen how many babies had to be suckled by wolves. And this is why you have your Romulus and Remus story, because they got to give you the opportunity to discover what they did. Or else they would lose their power instantly according to the rules. They follow them well. If you don't know the rules, that's why you oppress, because you don't know the rules. Anyway, so once they do this, now we stuck. We have to figure out a way to clean these people up and give them the right to ascend like everybody else. Because Mama was biggest concern more than anything else was that she said that these women never had the experience of being a mother because they don't have the understanding of what they are. I mean, they can talk and they can communicate. Today we would call them mentally retarded. It don't mean Down syndrome. It means very slow in the ability to comprehend. So you would have to communicate with them on a very, very, very small scale. They can't they was almost like a what you call in psychology an automaton. They did it to spite Mama because she told them bastards, if y'all think y'all gods like y'all say y'all is, do what I do. Pap your loins, raise your gown, and drop me a child, male or female. I don't care which one. I done showed you what I can do. And they got jealous and envious and hateful. And so they went on that mission. And now we going toward the second fall now. But the second fall was not a fall. They came down here to clean it up. The sons of righteousness came down here to clean this mess up. They volunteered to go into physical form and traverse the DNA to repair damage. Damage to the DNA. The damage to the DNA that they call junk DNA. Now, if you listen to your scientists, they'll tell you now, I don't know what's going on, but that junk DNA that didn't used to work, now it's starting to work. It's fixed. Mama told me if we fixed it, that everybody had a right to ascend, and she wanted me to give as many people as possible the right to ascend. So I had to swim through that cesspool that they created in their DNA matrix. We originally had a 12-strand DNA helix. When they created them people, they stripped them all the way down to a 2-strand DNA helix. That's dead wrong. That's dead. They took all of they. So, me being me, I'm going to figure it out. If Mama say do it, I'm going to fucking figure it out. If I can crack the motherfucking riddle of the ages, ain't nobody supposed to be able to crack it. I'm going to crack that motherfucker. So I cracked it. So now I'm getting to tell y'all. Mama said that if the women don't know what it's like to be a mother, a sister, and a daughter, if she don't know what it's like to be a matriarch of a family, then that is the highest form of wickedness to be visited upon this planet. And I cannot leave this planet like this. I cannot allow these women to never experience the rights of the earth right, the right of the woman. So she asked me to check on what was going on up there. I came back and I told Mama, they messed them people up bad. Birth defects are not necessary, but they necessary for you to remember. You got to understand that. In order for you to have gratitude in being fully functional and normal in function of your body, you have to see somebody who is not. Because that's what they was creating over there. The ones that didn't fit their standard of measurement to perfection was thrown over there. So now you got this dude 6 feet tall with 5 feet arms and 3 feet legs. What the hell is this? Then you got a woman, she got hands on her shoulder. What kind of madness is this? If you don't know how to do the science right, don't do it. Don't be experimenting on something if you don't know how to do the proper paperwork. If you don't know how to follow a process of gradual growth and development of an idea. See, that's what I am. I'm the gradual growth and development of an idea. I am the promise. I am the product of a promise of an idea that would manifest to clean all this garbage up. Now, the second fall is the cause. They didn't fall, they came. They tell you in Genesis that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, they was fair. Well, that's kind of true, kind of not true. Because the people that was here are the righteous that was already in physical form. They came here first in peace because they knew what was going to happen, and they knew that they needed what they call a healing factor. And these people you call in Africa your Dogon and your Zulu. These are what they call your people of heaven. Over here you call them the Hopi. In India you call them Dravidians. In Japan you call them Ainu. But they all came because they knew we was going to have to clean this stuff up, because those beings don't understand spiritual matters, because they only care about mental acceleration above spiritual matters. So when you start putting your intellect over your spiritual development, then you start to create a disorder within the self. It's going to project out. It's going to project out. It's going to project out as a lower base desire that we call a deadly sin. It's going to be locked into your DNA matrix. You're going to be experiencing all of the negative stuff inside you. All right? And from here, if we going to clean it up, Mama said, if you clean it up, I'm going to go talk to my daddy, and he going to do whatever I ask him, as they call her, his heart. That's how much he loved her. She is the personification of love. So she is like a big old ball of mitochondrial, because that's where your love come from. The first video of any length I did was called Exactly What is the Holy Ghost, in which I explained that the Holy Ghost was that love energy that expresses through mitochondria. Men can receive it, but they can't control it. Women can both control it and receive it and give it. In men, mitochondrial is DC current. In women, mitochondrial is AC current. A man can operate mitochondrial alternating current if he have a woman. This is why a man can't live without a woman. Anyway, so yes, no more the dragon, the Dogon. Yep, the dragon is when you all hear them talking about the dragon. Let me explain to y'all what they're talking about. They're talking about the voice. They're talking about a person that speaks with a voice that gets your attention. They call them a dragon. Muhammad Ali was a dragon. You understand what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was a dragon. When you get on that, Malcolm X was a dragon. These were your dragons. They come out there and they even got a rapper call himself Dragon, because that's what it represents. That voice, that verbiage. And so he got a grasp of the language. He got the authoritative utterance that they call the hu in Egypt. And he got the seer, which is the exceptional insight. He got all these things coming through that voice. And the people understand on a level they didn't think they would. Sciences that they never thought they'd grasp make sense to them because of that voice, that dragon voice. So when I told them people at Orient, I refused to send the letters off because I didn't think the people that I was working with was ready to see what's about to take place. But they're running out of time to get their mind right. But I told them in there, y'all done messed over these people. I sat here and I watched this woman, this mother who don't have time for this crap, come to the union meeting, voice cracking, hands trembling, knees shaking. Not all these motherfuckers looking at her like she from outer space. It pissed me off so bad I wanted to tear up the whole union hall. But Mom said, hold your peace, let the Lord fight your battles. It wasn't time yet anyway. But I needed to see that. That was what you call a an intervention of a master. Because masters have to do things to cause an effect. That caused an effect in me. I couldn't stand there watching that woman tremble like that, but she was brave enough to fight the fear. And that pissed me off that all of the men in there looked at her like she was less. And that I was hurt. Who gonna speak up for her? Who gonna back her up? She right. It ain't like she telling a lie. It ain't like she wrong. She right. Who gonna back her play? They ain't gonna back her play. They let her down. I ain't gonna let them down. They gonna have to answer to me in the end. They gonna have to answer to me. And she gonna get everything she rightfully deserved for fighting that fear to speak up for all of her co-workers. They not gonna get away with it. No. And I tried to stay out of workplace politics because I didn't want to take over they regular people. I'm not trying to outshine them people. Let them do